Hey, Book, I know you guys always want to win these games, but for you personally, congratulations is in order, becoming the Suns' all-time leading scorer. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. Me and you have talked about it for some time. Just being drafted to the franchise, them believing me, taking a chance on me as an 18-year-old kid, and going through a rebuild phase, and just sticking with it. Keeping my head down. The love and the support's all the way been there, and I don't take it for granted. I take it seriously, putting Phoenix across my chest.
You also mentioned that love and support. Your family was here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate you. You were able to go and hug your brother, sister, and mom. What did they say to you in that moment?
Just that they're proud of me and love me. The same thing that they've been saying since I was a kid. Though that unit right there is the one that has instilled all the confidence in me, since a kid. So anything that I had self-doubt about, anything I second-guess, they were always there to, tell me, you can do it. I've seen you do crazier things, so that's what I do it for.
Well, can you take us through that moment when you were holding your hand up and the shot went in? What thoughts went through your mind, and then what was the hardest part to get to this point?
I just had to knock it in. It was an open shot. Nick came to the bench and he said, "I made you legendary for passing it." But yeah, it was a special moment. What was the second question?
And then just to get to this point, everything you've kind of been through, was there like a hard part to get to here?
It's all hard from the beginning. There's so many people that have been involved in the journey, and a moment like this, is for everybody that's been a part of it, from grade school, from classmates to teachers. Like, in this moment, I know there's people back in Michigan and Mississippi right now that said, I grew up with him. I seen him when he was a kid, and it's just been constant work, just day after day, still enjoying it, still loving it. That never varies. I'm truly living the dream.
When you look at just you going back out on the court after you hugged your family and have them acknowledge you in the crowd, being a role game,
Yeah.
what would that mean to you?
Yeah, shout out to the Blazers organization. That was a great gesture. I definitely wasn't expecting it. So for them to go out their way and do that and get acknowledgement and love on the road, ideally I wanted this to happen at home. But for them to make that a moment and do that for me, I always have love for this place.
Special gift. What special gift did you get besides the game?
I got a few. I got signed jerseys from the four guys that, I've passed. So the top five. I got the headset from Al McCoy. Nike made these for me. A remake of Walter's Converse shoe. Yeah. It said Sweet D on it. I think it says it on the other one. So a lot of gifts.
Wow. I find it interesting tonight. It was one of your typical games. Start hot, go through a stretch, a rough patch, and then find it immediately again. Is that what you were thinking throughout? Like, hey, this is what I do, to keep grinding it out.
Yeah. I wanted to keep my rhythm in that first quarter. I was telling Coach I was trying to stay in, but it is what it is. It's a grind. It was an overtime game. Obviously ended in, the way I didn't want to. But we just got to stick with it, put things in perspective and, keep moving forward. Got OKC Wednesday, and that's our next focus.
Big picture, can you put into words what Arizona, the Valley, this organization kind of means to you, and to do it all with one team like you've done it?
I don't want to be too soon with the situation, but we just seen what went down, a couple days ago. And it's just, it is foreign, in this league for people to do what, the Tim Duncans and Dirk Nowinski's and Kobe Bryant's did, all under one roof, all under one house. Like I said, I came in at 18, not knowing what to expect, still, trying to become a young man. And I was always embraced. I was always loved through the fire too. You know, you guys remember the early days. It wasn't pretty, but there was always that equal love and support from the city, from the community, and I've always made it a point to, you know, stay involved and, you know, not always just make donations, but actually be out there with them. You know, let the kids be able to touch and feel me and, you know, see me in person.
Looking back to those 15,000 points, was that a shot that stand out the most? Was it the one that you just break the record or something else?
I think now that might be probably the most memorable one, but I know they don't count towards the record, but, you know, all my favorite moments are usually in the playoffs.
Kind of held your hand up there on that one. That's why it seems.
I held it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm supposed to do on all of them. That's the problem. Yeah.
Bud said that free throw is going to haunt you for a little bit. Is that the kind of the toughest part of the night, just to have such a high and then just to not finish it
Yeah,
off?
for it to end like that, but, you know, at the end of the day, that's part of my story. Something that I'll think on, something that, you know, next time I'm going to make it. You know, I've shot more pressure shots and made it. I've shot more pressure free throws in my career and made it. So in the grand scheme of things, you know, this road game in the middle of the season, you know, it is what it is.
Is there anybody you want to thank in this moment? Just that come to mind that you want to just say something to?
Just the family. You know, they're here supporting, but, you know, like I said, there's too many to name. You know, there's so many people that had impactful moments in my career, from the 7 or 8 coaches that I have that believed in me, to all the teammates that I've had. I think through the first 5 years of my career, I had the most teammates of anybody in the NBA. And, you know, even when guys were 10 days in here for a couple weeks, like, those relationships matter to me. And, you know, those guys that I've crossed paths with, you know, hopefully they can tell the story better than me. But yeah, there's too many to name.
Throughout the journey that you have been playing alongside with some all-time greats, and you also have played the Olympic in the summer. During the whole career, is there kind of like mentorship inspiring you, or if there is, who that guy is?
I'm a sponge, you know, so I take bits and pieces from everybody and soak it in. And you brought up the Olympics this summer. Like, that's a time where you can just be in the gym and, you know, get so many gems from so many different guys, not even by conversation, just by sitting back and watching how they move, watching how they do everything. So, yeah, again, just too many to name. I draw inspiration from a lot of guys, and, you know, I typically always get to tell them that and make sure they know, you know, what they've done for me.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Look, can I get a photo of this?